I'm super excited to make today's video. I have been waiting to make this video until all of our books came in and they have finally reached. So this is going to be our read aloud schedule for the 2025-2026 school year. If you're new here, my name is Jocelyn and I have a 4- and 5-year-old, almost 6-year-old kindergartner and first grader. I made a little schedule here, you can see. This is our schedule for the 2025-2026 school year. We are doing 6 6-week terms, and I have scheduled out 3 books per term. Now, some of these are shorter, quick reads, and others are longer, so I hope that that kind of balances out. We do not have a library, so any of these books that I have here, I have to bring in or find at the thrift store. So I also have an online library, so we can read it online. Some of these books are from online. So I do have my schedule here to make sure, because I don't want to skip them. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, because once we are halfway through, so 3 terms in, I will do a review of our read aloud reviews, and so I'll do that at the end of our 3rd term, and then I'll do it again at the end of our 6th term, and then I'll do a big one of our favorite books for the whole year. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so that you can stay tuned for that. I love myself a good read aloud list, so let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to go through the list and give you the names, and I'll put a picture up here of the book if it is going to be a digital copy. And down below in the comments, I'll put a full list of titles and authors so that if you want to search it, you can. Okay, so for our first book, we have Heartwood Hotel. And this was a book that was recommended by many people to us. So that was the first book that we read, and that was an online version. For the next book, we actually is Yours Sincerely, Giraffe. And this is by Megumi Iwasa. And this was a really cute story of a giraffe who is bored, and he writes a letter and it ends up with Penguin. So this is about their correspondence between the two. So that was our second book. So for the 3rd book we are reading right now, and it is not here. So it is My Father's Dragon. I should mention that Yours Sincerely, Giraffe. Heartwood Hotel had a couple pictures in it, but it was mainly just a chapter book. The Yours Sincerely, Giraffe had, Yours Sincerely, Giraffe, I'm struggling, oh my gosh, has pictures. So if your child likes pictures, recommend. My kids definitely are still into the picture side of the chapter books. It's a little bit harder to get through if there's not pictures for them to look at. So, all right, so we have My Father's Dragon, which is also a short chapter book with pictures. For our 2nd term, we have Pippi Longstocking. And this one does not have, it has a couple pictures, very few. But I remember reading this as a child and I loved it. And it's kind of silly, so I think my kids will like it. So next up we have The Bears on Hemlock Mountain. Again, we have a short chapter book. And then we have Charlotte's Web. Now I'm not sure, this has a couple pictures, but my kids, I don't know why, but when it's a book with talking animals, this book is actually from my library growing up, so it's seen some days. It's a little rough, but this was on my bookshelf growing up, so that's kind of cool. But my kids don't necessarily love books with talking animals, so we'll see how this one goes. I hope they love it. Term 3, we have Juana and Lucas, and this is another fun chapter book with pictures. And this is about a little girl that grows up in Colombia with her dog, Lucas. It's important to me to bring in books that let my kids know that there's a world outside their own little bubble, which you'll see throughout these books. I mean, we have classics, we have fun books, we have silly books, bizarre books, whatever. But I really want to make sure that we keep other perspectives in our read aloud list. We are doing Build Your Library, which is also, you know, bringing in books and sharing stories from around the world. But, and originally when I made this schedule, I had linked these up to when we would be doing that section in Build Your Library. But now that we're pausing, if you saw my last video, we're putting a pause on Build Your Library because I'm substitute teaching right now. So these are just going to be whenever. But yeah, so bringing in other perspectives, other parts of the world is important to me. And so, yes, we have Juana and Lucas. All right. And the next book I actually loved as a child. I loved the whole series. And it'll be my kids' first introduction to historical fiction, I'm pretty sure. Well, like in chapter book wise, and that's Little House in the Big Woods. This does have some pictures inside. We'll see how this one goes. Could go either way. All right. Then we have Adventures of the Wishing Chair. And this is a story of a little brother and sister who sit in a chair in an antique shop, and the chair, they make a wish and the chair takes them off, and this is their adventures. And I think my kids will like it because they have the brother and sisters going on adventures. So, okay, for the next one, we might end up pushing this one back. So this is starting term 4. Okay, my son is watching me, so we might end up pushing The Tale of Despereaux back because it is a longer chapter book and there's no picture. Well, there's very few pictures. There's a couple pictures in there. But for maturity level sake, we might end up pushing this one back towards the end of the year. Right now I have it in term 4. Okay, so for the next two, it's by the same author. And again, we were going to line this up for when we were doing Africa in Build Your Library. But we have the Anna Hibiscus. And this is about a little girl who grows up in Africa. And it's a short chapter book with pictures. And then we have by the same author, the #1 Car Spotter. And this is one I got for my son because it is about a little boy growing up in Africa who knows all of the cars. So my son is the same way. So I think he's gonna like this book. So the next one we have is an online read, and it is Along Came a Dog, and it's another classic. And I've heard things that go both ways about this one. Either they love it or they just don't like it at all. So we'll see how that one goes. Again, it's a classic. The next one, totally different, is James and the Giant Peach. And I read this one because I wasn't sure if it would be appropriate, like mentally, maturity, whatever, for the kids. And I think it's bizarre enough that they'll be fine. It is a shorter book, not a lot of pictures, but that will be our next one. And after that we have, and that's another one that I have that I think my son will like, and that is The Mouse and the Motorcycle. And The Mouse and the Motorcycle. I actually found that one in the States when we were up in the States, and it's coming down in a box that I shipped. So we will have the physical copy, but we don't have it just yet. So, and then another online read will be The Wild Robot. We tried to read it a couple months ago, and I just don't think that they were ready for it. So we are going to try again at the end of the year when they have a little bit more stamina. I mean, right now, my daughter, when we read, we usually read at night. She's just kind of flitting around, and, you know, it is what it is. So my son does a lot better with the books, but longer chapter books, we're going to push back towards the end of the year, I think, just to, you know, so they can keep their attention a little bit better. All right. So for our second to last book, we have The Mofats, another fun read. It's going to be online. We're going to read it online. And then finally, last but not least, thank you for that, Roosters, is The Trumpet of the Swan. by E.B. White. And this is another classic. And yeah, this will be our last one. So that is our schedule. It is a lot. I hope that we can keep up with it. And I think it's a really fun list. It's got a lot of different types of books, some fun books, some silly books, some adventure books, some classics, the kind of books, some of the books my kids have never really been exposed to before. So I'm excited about that. If you have read any of these before, if you think they're appropriate or not appropriate for a kindergartner and first grader, please let me know in the comments. If you have some suggestions, I always love to hear about new books, especially books from other cultures and bringing in the world through books. So again, I will make a video after our halfway point in the school year to kind of give you a review of the first 9 books, first round of books. And I will do the same thing at the end of the year, and then I will do an overall review of our 2025-2026 read aloud schedule. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, wonderful week, a wonderful month, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!